We just visited the George F. Haskell Insurance Agency in Needham, Massachusetts, which is where I was born and raised. We got to interview PJ Haskell, who's a principal and owner of the agency. It was great to reconnect for me personally with PJ after probably 22 years since we've worked together.
If you make your platform or rating system or the way you upload business so rigid that it fits these parameters and this is your guideline, then why do you have underwriters? Everyone's got their own area. They've all got, I've got to go into everyone. I've got to know different passwords for everything.
You personally.
These are all my passwords for all my different companies.
That's crazy.
You know? Again, efficiency. I mean, every single time a company comes out, we're coming out with homeowner endorsements soon. I'm like, let us be the testing company. We've got to be efficient.
Can't get it soon enough.
We can't get it soon enough because the paper, and like when the first started up, I heard all these agents at different social events going, can you believe they're making us do all their work? I'm like, well, wait a second. You know how much time you do using to write out every endorsement, type it out or write it out, go over and fax it or something. Here, you're doing it right on the system. You're doing it right. So you can't get mad at some clerical person, data processing person up at the company who keyed it wrong.
Yeah.
After our first agency visit, we're coming over to Norfolk and Dedham to meet with Aaron Cummings, the CIO, and Tim Hegarty, the CEO. Norfolk and Dedham is a customer, and we're looking forward to seeing if we can get the understand from a business standpoint how an insurance company treats their use of technology towards their agents.
Just like to point out, this is a Wang operator's console. You don't see many of those anymore.
We don't want this to be all about the Wang.
Yeah.
Let's go to the
Let's
fun web
let's
stuff.
not talk about the antique technology that you're retiring. Yeah.
This is our 40-year veteran of N&D. Makes it all
Hate to be
happen.
introduced that way, but thank you.
So when you started, people were typewriters and cranking out
Absolutely,
policies?
pencils and papers all over the place, you know.
you talk about the
Key
punch
punch cards.
Really?
Key punch cards.
What are those?
Absolutely. You want me to show you one?
Yeah.
But key punch cards used to be, you can read the holes. Every hole means a letter or number, and the machines you'd feed them into the machines. I used to have a big tray of cards where this was our monthly premiums keyed in by the key punch department. You'd feed it all in and you'd read the holes, and off you go.
Wow. And this is a policy right here?
That's the beginning of a policy.
Probably like one number on a policy.
These
And
were
you'd feed it into
these
the-
were actually agents' reconciliations entries by company.
Well,
Very
thank you for
intriguing.
your
It's very intriguing,
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Wow. These are like the
great.
Lloyd's.
She'll give us
These are like out of the 1840s,
Wow.
That's excellent.
and that's how it was done. In those days, companies didn't have capital. And so if we all agreed to be part of a mutual organization, part of this, you'll see the policyholder was signing a note, promissory note,
Right.
back to each other. So if there were a claim, the insurance company would send you a notice and say, by the way, write a check, please. So that was done until probably around 1900 or so, where companies started to accumulate some profits, and the profits are the capital base from which mutual policyholders get their claims paid today. So you don't have to worry about getting a check.
Right.
For most companies, there's still a few accessibles out there. That's how it works.
What are some of, if you think of kind of big picture for N&D, some of the goals that you guys have from a business standpoint, using technology, and is it correlated to your growth strategy?
Yeah, it definitely is. As we started to roll out these technologies a couple of years ago, we adopted a plan, a 3-year plan called Profitable Growth Plan 06-08. And during those 3 years, we've grown 27% on the top line. And we have to say, we know we just took a $2+ million book away from one of the big nationals. We'll leave their name out of it. And we know the person who made the decision didn't like having to deal with a big national anyway. It just didn't feel right to them in terms of what we could do locally. And when we finally showed them the technology, they said, that's it, we're moving. And we moved it over. So that there's no question in our minds that it has produced business, and not just business, but profitable business.
What do you think of this road trip we're going on?
Well, I think it's exactly what we were just talking about. It's sort of blocking and tackling for a business is fundamentals. And the real fundamentals for you guys is to know what the customer needs are. And how do you find that out? You know, you go press the flesh, and you get, have some FaceTime with those folks.
Right.
And that's a just very good investment for you guys in terms of your planning for the future. You have to make sure you go down the right road, or you could waste a lot of resources misunderstanding what the needs are and what they will be. So I think you should be applauded. Terrific. It's great. Well, listen, again, thanks for visiting with us today. You've got a tremendous voyage ahead of you. You're going to learn a lot of things. A little memento of our appreciation. This is a plaque of the Norfolk and Dedham Group companies. I hope you find a convenient spot for it to have in your office.
Thank you very much, Tim.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to Braintree to McSweeney and Ricci in Braintree. And I don't know if you know, but Marky Mark was born in Braintree. So that's kind of a big thing for me. I was way into the Funky Bunch back then. But yeah, Braintree agents should have a lot to say if I know
Do you
Braintree.
think Marky Mark still has his insurance in Braintree? You should ask.
I will.
Do you think he knows what a punch card is?
Probably not. He knows what a punch card is. So we're about to go see McSweeney and Ricci here in Braintree. And if you've been following along, you know we're about to go learn what agents want. So let's go do that.
The whole export, upload, download, those functions now are what make us go. It's all about efficiencies, or software more than another. Believe it or not, it's visual effect also. The less pages, the better. I think that's one of the examples of some of the carriers that do that. And I can certainly point out some carriers immediately that it's messy, it's polluted, you're searching, there's sometimes too much information, it's not pinpointed, directed.
Right.
Refill order, lack of a better word. If there was a protocol by the agency that this is standardized,
Like defaults.
the defaults,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
This agency has certain situations in which we demand be quoted on every policy. From a homeowner sense, we do ordinance of law, we want to make sure there's loss assessment on a condo policy. There's absolute necessities from an agency point of view that we want that. We want 100, 300 rental.
Yep.
Let's throw it all in there. Let's get it there. That's one step closer. That's the way we quote. If we can do that and set those defaults from an agency perspective, that would be fantastic.
That's great.
Same thing in commercial, by the way.
Yep.
We want EPLI quoted on every single one of them
Some carriers will ask you 20 questions on a $500
with
account.
supplemental applications.
Another nice thing actually would be to have when after you put in the name and address, what sections do you want? If you're just quoting GL, you don't want to run through like the property and the inland marine and goodness knows
The
what else
auto.
they've got going
Good
on.
point. That should be right up front.
Yeah.
GL
They
only.
make you do, some
Absolutely.
carriers make you
They
do
make you go
that,
through the whole thing.
Yeah.
even if you're just going for one?
Yeah. They'll make you go through the whole thing.
Or you have to put $1 in the BPP
Yeah.
to get through, because it won't
Yeah.
let you get past the property section.
When Norfolk Dedham was here, is being able to release, us being able to go in and adjust the endorsement request that we did in the same day, because we have to call and they have to release it. And we have to wait and go back in, so like, if I change a car and something got
It's-
left off, I have to,
It's like locked
either
down.
that or you wait for the endorsement, you wait the next day or 2 days and then go in and do another one, which is more paperwork and.
Yeah, that's a waste.
And also, when I do call, the help desk, which are great people, they tell me they have to call it tech.
Right, right.
Then they get to hear back from tech, then they call me, I mean, that's like a waste of time.
The helpless
Yeah.
desk, that's what we
Yeah.
call it. The helpless desk.
If I have to call a help desk, I'm moving on to another company.
No, but they're very good with most.
All right, so we're leaving Braintree. We just met with the McSweeney and Ricci agency. They were a really good gang. They brought everyone to the table from, personal lines to commercial lines, small accounts, large accounts, claims, which I think really gave us a lot of good content. So now it's on to another state, Rhode Island, AAA in Providence, and we'll see you then.